to rock a rhyme, it's right on time, it's tricky. It's tricky. And I really did wake up this morning and choose meth. If you don't know what meth means, it's just basically a scruff. And if you don't know what a scruff means, it's me with this hair. But you know what though? We're a family, we're the Redmond army for a reason, and I know you won't judge me. There'll be no comments at all judging the absolute terrible Barney that presents on my face. So I hope that you can deal with it. I hope that it's alright. But welcome to another Redmond Roundup. And people, we have got a very packed show with a bunch of little different topics. So before we do get into it, smash a like, grab a cup of tea, as I always say, or whatever it is that you like to do to chill. Subscribe, become a member of the Redmond Army, and let's get into it. So in today's episode, I basically just want to talk about the upcoming FA Cup fixtures that are going to be taking place later, as well as having a little look at the England squad as a whole that has been chosen for these World Cup qualifiers. That I thought they were friendlies, I'm not going to lie to you, but apparently the World Cup qualifiers coming up against San Marino, Poland and Albania. So one of them things where we'll have a look at the squads, we'll see what we think of it and think maybe was the options there that maybe could have been better. But before we do, someone said in the comments, because I think I mentioned something in the video about Real Madrid, even though they're not the worst opponents we could have got, they're not the best either. And I just think it's one of them things where you look at the teams that are easier than Real Madrid in the Champions League. I think I suggested maybe Porto and Dortmund. Now, when someone said to me in the comments, James, you're ludicrous for saying Real Madrid is harder than Dortmund, I don't know if that's true, or I don't know if it's as blatant as maybe they suggest, because saying that Dortmund is a harder game than Real Madrid, even though Real Madrid have dropped off, how much context is there really to that? Well, I actually want to delve into it quickly. Obviously, you can look at squads and whatnot, but you know what we'll even do before we look at squads? Let me look at table. So Dortmund are 5th in the Bundesliga. Just to put into context, we might as well start with league form. And then you've got Real Madrid, who, by the way, are in La Liga, who, by the way, Dortmund have just fought a team in La Liga, but in that second game, arguably got outplayed. Let me just suggest this. Real Madrid are currently sitting 3rd in their league. To put in more perspective, 6 points behind first, which is Atletico Madrid. So after putting all of that into context, Dortmund 5th, Real Madrid 3rd, not far off top of the league. I don't think it's blatant that Dortmund are a better side. And I'm only bringing this up because people in the comments were suggesting, James, what do you mean that Real Madrid's a harder game than Dortmund? Dortmund's well better. Like, even if you break down the teams, we can break down the teams all you want. Let's do it, yeah. Let me get back onto the page that I was on before. So this is the 11 that Dortmund went with against Sevilla. Again, Sevilla dominated pretty much the whole game. They just couldn't really put away all their chances. That being said, also makes the difference of when you've got an Erling Haaland, which is why Dortmund are actually way better than what they are at the moment. So you look at players like Schultz, very good fullback, don't get me wrong. Emre Can, he's been covering at centre-back quite a bit. That being said, he's playing for them. Mats Hummels as well, world-class centre-back, no doubt. Jude Bellingham, someone who's gone to the the World Cup qualifiers, which we're going to talk about. Matt Dahoud, Marco Reus, Erling Haaland, what's his name? Thorgan Hazard. Is it Thorgan Hazard? Also, I was about to call him Theo Hazard. I think it's Thorgan Hazard. What I'm trying... Obviously, they've got Jadon Sancho, Julian Brandt. They've got some world-class players at their disposal. When you look at Real Madrid, right, also some very, very good players. Let me bring up their lineup versus Atalanta, for example. Of course, there'll be a few injuries here, but let's have a look at this. Courtois, Varane, Ramos, Vasquez, who might not be world-class, but still is good. Ferland Mendy, one of the best fullbacks in world football. Valverde, one of the best young players in world football. Bit of an overage Modric, I'll give it to you. Cruz, who's also on the other side of that hill, but still very good. Then you've obviously got Benzema. Vinicius Jr., I feel like he can improve massively. Then you've got players like Marco Asensio on the bench. What I'm trying to say, even Rodrigo, what I'm basically trying to suggest, there's not a big gulf in class between the two teams. And I wanted to bring that topic at the start of the video, because I wanted to ask the question, would Dortmund be a harder opponent than Real Madrid? And it's just hypothetical. So like I said, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyway, let's get into some FA Cup predictions. So the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, here is the remaining teams, or I'll tell you the fixtures instead. Bournemouth versus Southampton. By the way, the first team that I mentioned will be the home team. So Bournemouth versus Southampton, Everton versus Man City, Chelsea versus Sheffield United. Hey, listen, Could Sheffield United maybe pull out of the bag a little surprise? Nah, probably not. That being said, and then Leicester City versus Man United. Some people will say there's an obvious winner there. Some people will throw out Man City. Some people will throw out Chelsea. Some people will throw out United. The fact some people will throw out each team means there's not really a clear winner, which actually therefore makes this a bit exciting. So I'm going to predict each game. Bournemouth, Southampton. I mean, listen, if this was last year, that's another Premier League fixture. Bournemouth just gone down. I believe they're a derby in some way. Let me know in the comments down below. I believe they are. I might be wrong, but either way, I'm going to predict even though they are depleted, a Southampton win. I don't know how good Bournemouth are doing. I actually believe they could be top of the league at the moment. I am checking it, but I don't know why, because let's be honest with you, I'm going to forget it by the time it gets to tomorrow. I'm basically just trying to be informal to everyone who's watching this video and maybe curious to whether Bournemouth are the not top, the 7th. Right, so Bournemouth are shit. Yeah, Southampton are going to win this game. They're probably going to win it comfortably, even with injuries. I'm going to say 3-0 to Southampton. Everton, Manchester City. Saucy game. Saucy for a reason, not in terms of I think it could go either way, even though it can, to be fair. Saucy for the fact that when you think of both managers and when you think what's at stake, this is a quarter-final and a trophy is on the line. How big is a trophy for both teams? Well, Man City, they want to go for the quadruple. They've done everything and more than what they've needed to do over the seasons, winning the league, winning domestic trebles and whatnot, and that is fantastic. But I think now, the way Man City can truly establish... Well, they've already established the past 10 years, you know, the last decade of football, no doubt about it. But the way they can establish dominance even beyond an Invincibles Arsenal or a Manchester United or, you know, even us over the past 2 years, Liverpool, who have a Champions League in our repertoire. If Man City win the quadruple, that puts them above anyone. You can put money, you can put context, but overall, that puts Man City above everyone. So that's why they need to win this game and go through. Whereas for Everton, not to try and make any jokes, but you haven't won a trophy since 1995, mate. So you're running a little bit short, and therefore, this is why this is a big game. And if anyone's going to bring trophies back to Goodison Park, hopefully it's not Carlo Ancelotti, but it's most likely going to be Carlo Ancelotti. So therefore, this is saucy, but I'm going to go with Man City. Man City 2, Everton 1. I think it'll be a close-ish game. Chelsea, Sheffield United. This is going to be a Chelsea win. Listen, Sheffield United fans, I'm sorry, but it is just one of them things where Chelsea don't seem to be getting beat at any time soon. So I'm going to say Chelsea. I'm debating whether it's going to be 2-0 or 1-0 because Chelsea will win, but I don't think they're going to... Nah, it's going to be 3-0. 3-0 to Chelsea. 3-1. I'll be nice to Sheffield. I'll give them a goal. And then Leicester, versus United. Now, do you want me to tell you what? I'd love to go with Leicester and Brendan Rodgers. I'd love Brendan Rodgers to go on and win this FA Cup because, you know what, mate, I feel like he's lacking a big trophy in England. That would be a major trophy regardless what people think, and to beat Man United would be a big deal, no doubt about it. That being said, do I think he will win? I'm not so sure. Man United away from home have been very good this season. Leicester, they've got a few injury problems. I feel like if there's any hope of them not getting top 4 but still having a successful season, that really depends on how well they do in the FA Cup. Therefore, they need to win this game. But I can't look past Man United. With Pogba back, with not other players really dropping fit, of course. Well, the game's tomorrow. Well, today even. So, it's one of them things where no one's going to get an injury. Players are available for this game. I'm going to say United, and I'm going to say United 2. Leicester City 1. But let me know what you think in the comments down below with your FA Cup predictions. Right then, people, so before we end the video, and I hope that you have enjoyed, and I hope you're liking these Redmond roundups, basically thinking about making them a daily thing in case you didn't see me last video. Also going to still be doing the live streams and the watch-alongs. This is just a thing that I've been doing for quite a long time. Just been trying different things, but it is what it is. So let me know if you like these different topics and whatnot. Anyway, I want to review the England squad, but before I do, let's talk about Trent and Reece James. Who's the better right back? And the reason why I want to bring it up is because, like my last video, I read your comments, I see what you say, so don't worry, your comments don't go unnoticed. I might not reply to all of them. That being said, I still see them, and it creates topic for these shows. That being said, a lot of you brought up Trent and Reece James. Let me tell you something now. Trent is a better right back than Reece James, and listen, people will say defensively Reece James is better than Trent. Maybe that's true, but he's nowhere near the level offensively, and he's actually a very good offensive right-back, but that's just the testament and how good Trent Alexander-Arnold is. And if we're going to call Reece James better than Trent after a season, because he hasn't completed this season and he only played a bit of last year, so you can't dare say that he's above what is a Champions League and a Premier League winner. And people will say, well, James, you can't say that he's a Premier League and Champions League winner because that's not fair. Do you want me to tell you what's not fair? The fact Trent won't get more credit for the role that he had to play in that Champions League win and that Premier League win. Even go back to the Champions League final that we lost, motherfuckers. Trent was the man of the match. He had Ronaldo in his back pocket at the age of 19. And I think we forget Trent is fucking 21 or something like that. 22 at most. What's Reece James? 20, 21, probably a similar age, maybe 19, still doesn't matter. Trent, is he going to achieve what Trent's achieved? Is he going to have the impact of the impact of Trent? Maybe he will. I'm not saying he actually won't, but it's ludicrous for me to say that Trent is a better Reece James is a better right back than Trent right now, even though there is attributes to his game that does make him better. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. I thought that was important to bring up. Before we wrap up the video, make sure you smash a like if you're enjoying. Goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and attackers that are going to the World Cup qualifiers again to play San Marino, Poland and Albania. This is the lineup. So the goalkeepers is Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston and Nick Pope. Jordan Pickford's got an injury, and Danny Ings has got an injury, and Jack Grealish has got an injury before we talk further about who makes this squad. Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston from West Brom and Nick Pope. Fine, and to be honest with you, I'd start probably all three of them above Jordan Pickford. Shows how much I don't rate Jordan Pickford. Haters will say it's because of what he did to Van Dijk. It's actually not. I think he's shit. I think he's a dreadful goalkeeper, and people just heavily overrate him and have done for years. Anyway, defenders, Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker. Don't agree as much with Tyrone Mings, and I get people like Tyrone Mings, and I really do get why. Very good centre-back. But I actually would have went with someone like Michael Keane, maybe above him. I think Everton have done well defensively this season, and Michael Keane's been a part of that. Even though so have Aston Villa, I just think it's one of them things. Look at the defensive records. I believe Everton's got a better defensive record, and Keane's a big part of playing that. So unless he's injured, I don't get that really, but everyone else makes sense. Also, obviously, Trent. Maybe I'd put him above Trippier, but Trippier's still class, and people actually really underrate Trippier just because he's not in the Premier League no more. He's doing bits for Atletico, so that can't go unnoticed. Midfielders, Jude Bellingham, which is fantastic. I'm very happy that a youngster is getting given a chance. I feel like someone like Jude Bellingham deserves it. Just because he's not in the Prem doesn't mean he should go unnoticed. Hopefully he can make a little bit of an impact, even if it's off the bench. That'd be great to see. Maybe a little England debut goal, we never know. Phil Foden, Jesse Lingard, which was a surprise, but at the same time, with the form he's been in, with the influence he's had on the squad, it's not really that much of a surprise. Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice and James Ward-Prowse. So that's Belter. Obviously there's a few surprising ones that's not there. James Maddison is an example, but I believe James Maddison's injured actually, so maybe that's the reason. Jack Grealish is still waiting to really be confirmed for the Tottenham game, let alone this one, so that's going to be interesting. And then the forwards is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Saka, Raheem Sterling and Ollie Watkins. So no Jadon Sancho, I believe that's due to injury. No Danny Ings, no Jack Grealish. Yeah, and I believe that's it, really. Obviously, Jamie Vardy can't be there because he's retired from English football. Is there someone that I'm missing and just not coming to the forefront of my mind? Because maybe that is the best squad that we could have picked, bar a few injuries. Let me know in the comments, because my mind's kind of going blank. The squad as a whole is fine, but let's hope that we have more broadened options when it comes to the Euros, because, it's one of them things where England will actually have a chance for some whatever reason if we do have everyone fit. There's no doubt about that. So I'm very curious to see how we can do if everyone is fit. But again, big if. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully, you have a lovely morning and a lovely day. Smash a like, subscribe if you enjoy. Become a member of the Redmond Army. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace out.